What's happening, Hardscapers? This is episode 29 of the How to Hardscape podcast, where we talk to you about how you can start and grow your hardscaping business. And on today's episode 4 of the Marketing Week, where every day we are releasing an episode about marketing, we're going to be covering SEO for landscapers, starting an SEO optimized website for your business and what you need to do to be able to track and target keywords to show up at the top of search engine results. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Getting into creating a website that is search engine optimized, SEO optimized, is something that I've been working on for the past 5 years at least now, with creating websites, and How to Hardscape was the next one in a series of websites that I've created. And it is something that, you know, if you put a little bit of effort into it and learn the basics, you will see rewards over time. It takes at least 6 months from the changes that you make in your website for a search engine like Google to notice that and to change your place in the rankings. So it is something that, you know, if you spend a few hours learning the basics and you apply that to your website, which will take the most amount of time, you will start seeing results down the road, 6 months, maybe even up to a year, where your website is starting to climb those rankings, and that will generate free leads coming into your business, where you're not paying to show up at the top of Google search engine results, or you're not paying for more marketing because you are already at the top of the results. People are searching for landscapers, hardscapers near them, and you're the one that's showing up, and these are already qualified leads that are coming into your business that you can then pre-qualify further to see if they are the right fit for your business, which you can do with your website, and we're going to be talking about it in another episode. But for today, we're sticking with creating a website that can be search engine optimized to get at the top of those search engine results. So starting with this, you know, if you don't have a website, you should definitely make a website. And we always recommend creating a website through WordPress. WordPress is a free platform that you can download onto your host. And your host is basically a place where your website's going to be stored. It's an offsite server that basically you purchase a domain name, so yourcompany.com, and then that website lives in that host, and you pay them usually monthly or quarterly, maybe even yearly, a fee for that website to basically live there and for it to exist there, so that any photos, any pages, whatever you create on that website is going to be stored there so that people can access it. So on that host, you can download WordPress. WordPress is an open source platform, and it's incredibly powerful. It takes a little bit of time to learn, but you don't need to learn coding. You don't need to learn any of it. It's all clicking buttons and inserting and typing. It's very simple. You don't need to know coding, and it's extremely valuable to you, your business, and for setting up a search engine optimized website. Other websites that are click and drag, very simple website builder programs are not so valuable for search engine optimization, just because all that is already built into it. And, you know, those types of platforms, they can't keep up with, you know, changes in search engine optimization that are always going on, and these, you know, Google's changing their algorithm like 500 times a year. So it's a lot for these different, you know, programs that are all competing with each other, platforms that are all competing with each other to adhere to these new algorithms that are coming out. Whereas WordPress is very simple in the way it's created, and you customize it for your own page, for your own post, for the photo that you're adding to it. All of these can be optimized for search engines on your end, and you can customize it to your liking. And not only that, but WordPress is so powerful with the plugins, the customization of the website itself, that you are able to create an incredible website that people will think that a designer or somebody came in and did this all for you, but it's quite simple to invest a few hours into learning it and then applying those what you learned to that website and creating something pretty incredible. Now, there is a trade-off in this, and there's a trade-off in learning SEO, and there's a trade-off in creating your own website, and that's time. Whereas you can hire somebody to do that for you who's more experienced, and they can finish it faster. And then that trade-off is money. So just like somebody would hire us as contractors to come in and to, do some renovations, they could do that themselves, but then that would cost them their time. And they could hire you, but that's going to cost them their money. So it's the same trade-off, and very easy to relate it to yourself in this sense. But this is where I'm going with creating your own website. And if you don't know how to set up your own website, once again, it's very simple. And we have an article on our website, howtohardscape.com. If you go to the search bar and you type in website, and hit enter, you're going to find that article show up, how to build a website. It's a fairly long article, fairly well in depth in terms of creating that website, creating posts, creating pages, adding photos. It's all in there with WordPress. So everything you need to know with creating a WordPress website is in there. And the best part about creating your own website is that you're in control. It's yours. You know how to modify it. You know what needs to be done in order to add something to it. Whereas if somebody else is in charge and you're paying them, say, monthly, and you want a photo added, or you want to add a page, you're messaging them, you're emailing them, you're asking them about it, then maybe you're even paying more on top of it for those services. And that's just a little extra that comes with, learning these skills that you can apply to your business and to have more control over your online presence. Now, there's still a lot of value in hiring somebody to do it for you if you don't want to spend that time, if you don't want to invest that time, because it will take you some time to do that. But that's where I'm going to leave it for now. We're going to move on to SEO. So you've got your website created, and you're at the point where you're thinking of what pages you want to add to the website. And there's very basic pages that you need to have, like a home page, contact page, about us page. And those are a few very basic pages that you need to have. Very easy to create in WordPress, especially a contact form. Very simple, and that's actually included in that article on our website about how to do that. The more complex things get into creating pages for your services that you offer, and this is where SEO really comes into play. SEO is the practice of finding a keyword that somebody would be searching for in a search engine, and incorporating that keyword into that page so that when people search for that keyword, your website is going to be the one that pops up at the top of search engine results. For example, if you want to learn more about SEO, you can go to our website, howtohardscape.com, search in the search bar SEO, and our article is going to show up. And the title of that article is SEO for Landscapers. And we titled that very specifically as SEO for Landscapers. Our website is How to Hardscape, but it can be applied to many different contractors, including landscapers and many other contractors. A lot of these articles can be applied to their business, especially when we're getting into business practices, marketing, things like this. So we chose SEO for Landscapers because we knew people were searching on search engines for SEO, but if we just titled it SEO, an SEO article, an SEO guide, it's too competitive. There's too many big players that come up on that first page of Google. So we narrowed it down to maybe we could do it SEO for hardscapers, but when we did our research, we found out that nobody is searching SEO for hardscapers. So hardscapers is a very specific term. So we one-upped it a little bit, and we did SEO for landscapers. And when we did that, we found that the competition for that first page of Google wasn't as high, though still competitive. We figured that if we wrote a valuable article, we would start to get on that first page of Google. That was our goal, get on the first page of Google. Now, if we do SEO for contractors, what shows up is, not necessarily contractors who are in home renovation, but it could be contract work, like freelancers that may be wanting to get into SEO to offer to clients, and that's not our audience. So we stuck with that SEO for landscapers. That was our keyword research. That was what we were going to name our article and incorporate into our article. And now if you search on Google SEO for landscapers, our article is now on that first page of Google. We are there, and we're going to be shooting for that first position as time goes on, and we just let Google do its thing with that article because we do think it's very valuable. That, in a nutshell, is what you need to be doing with every page that you have on your website, other than maybe the homepage, the About Us page, and the contact page. You should have a page for every service that you offer, maybe even a page for all the locations that you offer services to. So maybe you service more than one city or one region of a city. And you can get really creative with the other pages that you can consider creating, and then you can do your keyword research for those things. But when it comes to keyword research, we're going to focus on the services that you offer and getting into the customer mindset, because you need to understand what that customer is going to be typing into Google in order to find your business. And that's the keyword that you're going to be wanting to target for that page. So let's get into this now. If you are a hardscaper and you think somebody might be looking for your services, well, what services do you offer? Let's go through them. Do you offer a driveway installation? Is this something that somebody may be searching for in Google? If they're searching for a driveway installation, they might be looking for asphalt, poured concrete, or interlock. But do you want to be at the top of that list so that when somebody's looking for driveway installation and they see that you're at the top of that list, they go in there, they see your projects, they're hooked, they want to contact you for an interlock driveway now? Probably. So if you are going to target driveway installation, you're going for a very general term, and it's not specific to your area, but we want to make it specific to your area. So say you are in Toronto and you offer driveway installation, then somebody looking for a contractor for driveway installation in Toronto would type in driveway installation Toronto or driveway installation in Toronto. Now you need to understand, what is the competition for that keyword? And to do that, we use a specific tool. It's called Key Search. If you type in Google Key Search or you go to our SEO article, you'll find a lot of information on that and how to use that tool, which is incredibly important. And it is a paid tool. I believe it's $10 to $15 a month. But for what you're doing, you won't need it for more than a month. And we do have a discount code in there that we do earn a small commission on, very small out of that $15 a month. But it is extremely valuable. It's the best tool, I believe, on the market for the money that you're paying for. There is a free tool that you can use, but it's going to lead you astray. And I will mention it here if you want to kind of dabble in it, and that's Google AdWords. Now, Google AdWords is the tool for Google that you can purchase ad space, but in there they have a keyword research tool. And what this tool does is, if you type in a keyword, for example, driveway installation Toronto, it'll tell you the competition of that keyword, but it's not telling you the competition about the competition of getting your link, getting your page at the top of Google search engine results. It's telling you the competition of people purchasing the ad for that top 3 spaces, which are usually ads. So that's extremely important to understand, because that competition is going to be skewed and that's going to lead you astray. Yet it is still a pretty good free tool to kind of get started with this SEO thing. Definitely invest a little bit of money for that month and do all your keyword research within that month and get that key search tool. It's incredibly valuable for understanding the competition of getting to those top spots on that list. So what I would do with key search, now that I've got this driveway installation Toronto phrase, I would type that into key search. I would hit enter, and then a list of the top 10 websites would come up with a bunch of numbers. And then on the right would show me similar searches that people are looking for. So I can go through that list on the right and find some more ideas that I can search up to find the competition. Or I can just stick with driveway installation Toronto and see the competition for that. So it'll give you a number from 0 to 100, 0 meaning very low competition, 100 meaning the highest competition. And then it'll tell you how many people are searching for that term per month. And that's incredibly important. If you are living in a smaller city, that number is going to be a little bit small, maybe under 100. Maybe if you're living in a bigger city, that number is going to be up to 1,000 or even higher. People searching for it per month. Now, I wouldn't target anything, 10 and below, but I would definitely target something that has 20 and up if you're living in a smaller city. You definitely want to be able to reach these different key, these different audiences that are typing into Google or typing into search engines to find you. Then what it's going to show you is the top 10 results for that keyword search. And generally the top couple are your competition maybe in the area. It could be also Yelp, could be also other contractor referral websites that are out there on the market. And these are generally have a higher authority in the marketplace. So generally they're weighted higher and they're put up there in the search engine results based on that city term that you included in your keyword when you were searching at the beginning. So for example, Toronto, it would show, say, Yelp contractors in Toronto. That would be high up there. But what you're going for are those top positions that, say, your competition might be be ranked at. That's what you're targeting for. And the number that you're looking there is called domain authority. And that's generally how long has this website existed for, and how trusted they are by certain search engines like Google. And that trust comes from people linking to that website or the length of how long that website has been online. Now, when it comes to getting links into your website for your domain authority to increase, there are a couple ways that you can go about. Well, there's many ways you can go about doing it, but a couple ways that I'm going to highlight. And one is you could exchange links with, say, people outside of your market that maybe you want to highlight on your website as somebody that inspires you or somebody that you trust, and maybe create a page on your website dedicated to that hardscaper. In return, that person would do the same for you. People that are outside of the market that you are servicing. And in that way, you're both exchanging these links and building each other up and building up your domain authority. That's a great way about going about it. Another way would be, reaching out to members of the media or a local newspaper with your story and how you built your landscaping business and how you service, or maybe a community event that you organize or anything like that. And these community newspapers, generally they have an online article that goes along with it that can link back to your website, and those are valuable links that you can get back to your website. We give away links for all the guests that come onto our show, and they get links from all the different podcast directories because their link is in the description of each episode. Now, those links and the links that you create when it comes to adding your business on directories like Homestars or like Yelp, which are valuable, you should definitely do and spend time to create a nice looking profile on each of these websites. But these links are going to be less valued because anybody can get those links by simply creating an account. So these links are going to be of less value, but yet they still hold some value. So you should definitely do them and spend time creating your profile, because again, people are going to stumble across your profile and you want them to have a good experience with what they see on your profile there. And then continuing on that, if we create an article on our website for the people that have come on our show and we link back to them, that's a more valuable link. These links coming from the local newspapers or wherever you can get your business featured, these are valuable links that you can get back to your website to increase that domain authority. And one thing I would talk to you about this is that you can go on websites like Fiverr.com, which offer inexpensive services for logo design, which is incredible, or different things. But these websites also offer very poor services. And one service I see on there very often is SEO services. And like I touched on this before, and I'll touch on this again in the episode, these SEO services, you get what you pay for. And Google is smart. Search engines are smart. They're going to see when you're trying to game them, when you're trying to get ahead of them, and they're going to knock you down. The only thing that's going to win with these search engine results in the long term is quality content that targets specific keywords. People that say that they can get you 100 links to your website if you buy their package. And what they're going to do is they're going to spam your link everywhere. Google's going to see that they've spammed your link everywhere, wherever they may have put it. They can put it anywhere on the internet, in forums, or maybe they have a website that they just add links to, and they're going to see that your website was added there, and they're going to knock you down, and they're going to hurt you in the long run. So you get what you pay for when it comes to these SEO services. But that domain authority number is incredibly important, because then you want to look at your domain authority number and decide, what, am I too low to rank against this person? And just because your domain authority is too low doesn't mean that you can't outrank them. It just means that it's going to be an uphill battle. You're going to have to include more words, more photos, more videos on that page that you're going to create. And then the next couple things that you need to consider, and these are even more valuable for ranking, that those top few contractors that are on the top of the search engine results for that phrase, you can decide, I'm going to go for it. This is the pay. We're going to get incredibly hard, twice as hard, if not 5 times as hard, just to build up that authority again, to show Google that you're not doing that anymore. So anytime you try to take shortcuts, anytime you try to game the system, it's going to hurt you in the long run. That's why SEO, people who practice SEO, people who charge for SEO, charge so much, because it does take time. It does take skill. And it takes a lot of energy and expertise to be able to do this properly. If you're paying cheap for SEO, just like you would for a contractor, you're going to get cheap work, you're going to get dinged in the long run, and you're going to take a hit. So that's just putting that out there for your own knowledge when it comes down to SEO. But if you're going ahead with that driveway installation Toronto phrase, you're going to make a page around that, check your competition, check how many words are included in that. And then the general rule of thumb is you want to probably double the amount of words that they wrote. So if they wrote 1,000 words on their page, you're going to want to write 2,000 words. If they have 3 photos in there, you want to maybe have 5 or 6 photos in yours. If they have a video, the video is a little bit more difficult to create, you're going to want to definitely have a video. Doesn't mean you're going to need to make 2 videos, 3 videos. Just at least have a video if they have a video. And this is how you're going to create a piece of content that's going to be better than theirs. And you're going to want to incorporate Driveway Installation Toronto into the URL, into the title, and then headings. Headings are incredibly important too, but we're getting really specific with SEO, and I may lose you at this point if you are not already lost with me. So definitely check out our article, SEO for Landscapers, on our website if you want to learn more about the headings and how you can incorporate more keywords into those headings. If you have another keyword that you want to target that's related to driveway installation, for example, interlock driveway installation, Toronto, you can incorporate that as a heading, because a heading is also going to be weighted heavier than if it is just words in the body paragraph. So a heading is distinguished between so if you read a website, if you read a page and you see words that are bigger and then smaller words that are in the body, that's the heading. The bigger words that are usually in bold, that are showing a new thought or a new flow of writing that's going to come below that. And that heading is going to be weighted heavier than if you incorporate that keyword into just the body writing. So if you have Interlock Driveway Installation Toronto and the competition for that is even lower than the competition for Driveway Installation Toronto, then that's a great keyword to put into the heading. The rule of thumb is if the competition is heavier, it's higher, and you think you can rank for that keyword, incorporate the highest competition phrase into your title and into your URL. The lower competition keywords that are still related to it, incorporate into the heading, and then incorporate all these keywords throughout the body as you are typing. So that is how you're going to create a page, and then you're going to continue that with every single service that you offer. Driveway installation, front entrance, front walkway, backyard patio, outdoor living spaces, and then what city is it in? Outdoor living spaces, Toronto. Or wherever city you might be in, you are going to want to create a page specifically for that service in that city that you are in. And that's the basics. That's the basics of an SEO optimized website for your landscaping business. And you are going to see amazing results if you follow those basics. Now, we will be touching on this more in the future of our website. We want to create more content on this because this is the value that I can bring to you based on my experience with not only being a hardscaper myself, but also being a website creator and having this background knowledge with creating websites and with creating SEO optimized websites. I've done this before. I've gotten a lot of websites on the top pages of search engine results, and I'd love to help you get on the top of search engine results with your business to bring in these free leads. Again, this is an investment into your business for the future. It takes some time to learn, but these are going to be free leads that are coming into your website. Not just free leads, but qualified free leads that people are looking for that service for your area to come into your business. And then it's your job from there, whether you want to get them on a call, whether you want them to contact you through their website. There's so many different things that you can do with them once they're on your website. And we're going to get into that in the next episode on this podcast. We're going to get into marketing and remarketing using Facebook and Google ads. So stay tuned for that next episode. And then I just want to close this episode on SEO for landscapers with 2 tools that you should absolutely be including in your website. And that's Google Analytics and the Google Search Console. These are free tools. All you have to do is copy and paste a code into your website, which I'm going to show you in that SEO for Landscapers article. But the Google Analytics will tell you who's coming to your website, what times they're coming to your website, where they are located, and how long they were on your website, what pages they visited on your website. So much different information that's going to help you with understanding how you can improve your website in the future. Google Analytics is a free tool. It's incredibly powerful. And if you don't already have it in your website, you should definitely incorporate it into your website. Again, I can help you with that. And the other tool is Google Search Console. And this is the tool for helping you analyze where your website is ranking for and for what terms it is ranking for. So it'll tell you people are searching this phrase, and this is where your website is ranking for that phrase. Only if they saw your website. So if your website is on the 10th page for something and nobody's going to the 10th page, it's going to give you no data. But if your website's on the third page and people are seeing it, they're going to the third page and they're seeing it, they're going to tell you that your website was on that third page for that term. And then over time, you can monitor where that page is ranking for in Google and who's searching and what keywords they're searching for, which you can incorporate into that page when you edit that page. So incredible tool. So much you can do for it. Maybe we'll do another episode on both of these tools in the future on this podcast. But this is just a basic episode on 1, creating your website, how to do that with WordPress. 2, creating a search engine optimized website. And 3, incorporating these tools that are incredibly powerful into your website and using them to your advantage. And again, this is a lot of information coming at you in terms of SEO for your website, for your business. I'm sorry if I lost you throughout it. There's a lot coming at you, but this is something I am passionate about besides hardscaping, and I'd love to help you in your business. So reach out to me if you need any help. If you have any questions about the things that I touched on, anything at all, reach out to us at How to Hardscape or contact@howtohardscape.com. Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. Visit us at howtohardscape.com for more information on this subject. You can search in the search bar SEO for landscapers or just SEO, and that article is going to pop up. Let us know what you want to learn about in future episodes. I really love that people have been reaching out to us and letting us know some ideas that they want to hear about. I love the ideas that are coming in, and we're definitely going to be looking into that for the future. And we'd love it if you subscribe, left us a rating and review on this podcast in general. You can do that on Apple Podcasts, or you can just share it by taking a screenshot, sharing it on your Instagram stories. That really helps us get this podcast out there, getting more guests onto this show. And thank you for all the support you've shown us this far. We look forward to meeting with you next week on the How to Hardscape podcast.